for me, which is most important, a champion for CIS of the nation's capital. Would you please join me in welcoming Dr. Pilgrim?
Thank you, Dr. Lewis, for your introduction and for extending this invitation to bring me here today to share with you the national conference, the impact communities and schools has on Burrville, as we like to call it, the Ville on the Hill. Thank you to communities and schools for hosting this national conference here in my hometown, Washington, D.C., with the theme, The Power of N, One Network, One Purpose. I am extremely honored to be here today to share with you some of the opportunities communities and schools has afforded our students. Burrville Elementary School is a Title I school with 99% of our students on free and reduced lunch. Our student population is 99% African American. Before our partnership started, we had a 35% suspension rate, and our chronically absent student rate was 44%. In addition to this, we did not have a parent-teacher organization. There was a need for additional support. We received an application to apply for the grant for communities and schools, and we were accepted. Our partnership began in the spring of 2019. Ms. Asia Smith, who is our CIS coordinator, joined our school community and hit the ground running. She started with goal-setting conversations, which included data collection and analysis with our students, families, teachers, and other partners. At the time, I was the assistant principal. Ms. Smith fully immersed herself in our school culture and was able to identify gaps between home and school. Together, we developed strategic plans and goals centered around family engagement, attendance, behavior supports, and academic achievement. In the fall of 2019, I was promoted to principal, and as a new principal, there were some elements of our local school budget that I quickly learned minimized our impact to reach the needs of our students. For example, our goal in family engagement was to increase parent involvement to build bridges between home and school. One of the strategies we decided to implement was to host many school events. A few of the events included the Red and White Ball, movie night, math and literacy nights, monthly principal chat and choose, awards programs, and our infamous haunted house, which is coming up again in a few weeks. All the materials needed to support these events were funded through communities and schools. We had our highest parent-participated event in February 2020, which was our Black History program. It was standing room only. Parent turnout was the highest we have ever witnessed. Then March 2020 hit us. The world shut down. A 2-week spring break quickly turned into the last we would collectively see our students in our building that school year. This was a very scary time for us. It was a time of great uncertainty. At the start of the pandemic, we were not sure where all of our students were. 42% of our families lost connection with us. This was a very hard time. Not only were we concerned about our own personal families, but we were also concerned about our students. Ms. Smith and I would speak daily, discussing and tracking who we were able to contact and what supports were needed. There were some knocks on doors and strolling the neighborhood to locate families. During that time, my budget was completely frozen. Our families experiencing homelessness more than tripled. It went from 14% to 45%. The basic needs of our families drastically changed. Ms. Smith was able to provide supports for our families, which included food and clothes. We hosted several food drives at our school where families could come and pick up groceries and other necessities. Additionally, there was a very visible digital divide that surfaced in our city. It became painstakingly clear that schools in Wards 7 and 8 had many challenges and inequities surrounding access to technology. Again, with the limitations of our local school budget, there were neither purchases I could make nor funds allocated for me to do so. Ms. Smith was able to purchase the much-needed devices for our students so that learning could remain accessible. By the first week of April 2020, I am very happy to report that we were able to reach all of our families. That's something to clap. Absolutely. It was very scary. This is the impact Communities in Schools has on our students. This is what Communities in Schools does for our school community. This partnership allows us to mobilize education, making positive and impactful learning experiences for all students. Learning is made visible at the Ville on the Hill. This partnership extends our reach and strengthens our capacity to make dreams attainable and imagination limitless for our students. Throughout the years, our partnership has tremendously grown. We know that our students carry with them experiences that are not just within the four walls of our schools, but extends to the neighborhood. Our partnership is not one-dimensional. It is multifaceted and a continuum of services. Most recently, there was a situation that involved several of our male students after school in the neighborhood. Not only were the students involved in this negative exchange, but parents were also negatively impacted. Students arrived to school the next morning full of big emotions, and some of you know what those big emotions are. And they wanted to take action. While my social worker and I held a restorative circle with the involved male students, Ms. Smith was able to contact all parents involved without me being prompted. I didn't have to tell her to do it. She just did it. She saw a need to resolve the situation and acted upon it quickly. Before lunch, those big emotions from students soon simmered. Parents were able to gain a better understanding of these events. Students were able to share their feelings and determine how they could make better choices. Stronger connections were made. This is the impact of Communities in Schools. They are not just a financial resource for students. They care about the well-being of students. They care about the future of our community. They care about the presented opportunities and choices for our students. I feel strongly that Ms. Smith, through Communities in School, has made Burrville a school of choice. We are on the rise. Parents feel comfortable bringing their students here daily. We have made tremendous gains academically and socially. Ms. Smith is a true champion of Communities in Schools. Our partnership clearly shows the power of N, one network, one purpose. Our data improved across all indicators due to this partnership. Schools are stronger. Goals are attainable. The future for students is brighter. Communities in Schools extends our reach and strengthens our impact. It is most appreciated and clearly needed for such a time as this. Thank you so much for this continued partnership. Please enjoy the rest of this program. Now back to Dr. Lewis. Thank you.